welcome back to day 4 of MS Tossing Around. On this week off of Football Manager on my channel, just while I'm away, I thought I'd do another week of just bringing some stuff out, just testing the waters, see if there's an interest in that sort of stuff. Of going back playing the old sort of 90s, early noughties, sort of PC and DOS games, that sort of thing. So today we've got Populous. This wasn't a game I actually had on PC. I've played it on... I actually bought it off on Good Old Games, and I think I spelled my name wrong in this. Yep, I did. KIOTA Gaming, fantastic. Good start. I bought this on Good Old Games, but I did have this on the SNES, and it was a really random one. I'd never heard of it. I remember going down to my local games shop, which back then it wasn't sort of Game or GameStop or any of those. It was just a private little shop, and I think I traded some stuff in and got Populous. I think it might have been around my birthday, so I had some birthday money as well. I think I seem to recall my dad being there with me. It wasn't always. I tended to go to the shop down there on my own. It started out... Did it start out in... I think it started out in like the Save Centre / Sainsbury's and then moved down to the High Street, or it was vice versa. I can't remember which. And I just remember picking up this game and I just couldn't make head nor tail of it. And I had it for a while, and eventually I did get a little bit better at it, and I started figuring it out, started figuring different things out, playing different levels, playing different scenarios. And it was actually one of my friends, the one I played a Fortnite with, Scott. We just got obsessed by this game as well, and just figuring out how it worked. And I mean, back in the day there was no internet. You know, you couldn't go on Google and find some tips and tricks. You'd have to wait for it to come out in like Games Master magazine or on Games Master TV show, something like that, if there was some advice or something. I don't remember getting any of that. It was just trial and error, which something that doesn't exist anymore. If I don't know how to do something, I'm not sure, I'm straight on Google, I'm straight on YouTube. So those are the heady good old days. But as you can see here, we're just at the moment just raising and lowering land so we can expand our population, change the little wooden huts into houses, and the houses into little round castles, and the castles into full-on proper big square castles like that you see there. And so we're in the top left on the map if you look on the left hand side, but down the bottom you can see some more flashing. That's basically where the enemy is. So there, it's a rival tribe, and it's a battle to wipe each other out basically, so you have to expand. Now I've tried playing this through once before, it didn't go well, and there's a few things I can't remember some of the controls. So at the top right here you can see the arrow moving as you go. That's your mana, something like that. So it goes up, so you can do up and down all the time, and as you move and get more mana you can do different things. So you can I don't know what the cross is there, I don't know what that does, I can't remember. But then you've got the next one, the little wave is an earthquake. You've got a swamp after that. The down... Oh, it's a knight, isn't it? It's not a down, it's a knight. I think I created a few of those, but not knowingly how to do it. You've got a volcano, then you've got a flood, and I think the top one is Armageddon. And I think that's just everyone rushes to the centre where they meet and just battle it out to the death. So what you can do, you can build up your mana, drop earthquakes, drop volcanoes on their civilization, their tribe, and just sort of push them back in the limit. So you can see on the top right where that shield is, it has cut out some of the screen on DOSBox for some reason. You can see the progress. So we're the blue, they're the red, and it's the bar goes up, so how good you're doing, and I think how many people you've got, things like that. But you can see they're on 2 different islands at the moment. They're on the left island at the bottom, and down the right at the bottom right you can see, but they are all wooden huts. So they've got a castle there. But I think we get here, and I think we do decide to drop our first biblical destruction on them. We drop a swamp in, so not only does that completely ruin their castles, it also, anyone that walks in it will die, and you don't have control of the people. You can't direct them per se. I don't think you can guide them to like your religious symbol or whatever, but you can't generally pick on someone and guide them. It's not that sort of game. It's not like Command and Conquer, or it's not like a point and click in that regard. Very tactical, very tough game, but I just loved it when I was younger. It was just a fantastic game. Really was one of the things when I look back on my gaming backstory, it's a big part of that. The Super Nintendo was a big part of that. Commodore 64 was the first thing, so of course that was also very big. But this on the Super Nintendo, a few games on the SNES, just and Game Boy, very big in my past. And that's why I just love to go back and play them when I can. I've got a lot of big collections still, mostly at my mum and dad's currently. I am trying to get them to work. I'm trying to currently get a Super Nintendo to work with my capture device. proving quite fruitless at the moment. The company themselves haven't been able to give me any insight other than some device that doesn't exist anymore in stock, and to buy it is going to cost me like £100. Not going down that route. So yeah, a bit disappointing, but we're going to keep trying, keep plugging away if I can do it, because I want to use the real thing rather than emulators or remade games. Having a bit of discussion with Ed from Ted Redwood Gaming the other day. He's very much down the other route. He likes the remasters and the updates and the modern versions of them. I'm very much a retro boy. I love collecting all the old stuff. I don't collect it as much as I used to. Other priorities with money and, you know, life basically. I did for a while, just every month just made sure I had something into the collection, and there's just boxes and boxes. I've got like Super Nintendo 64, Mega Drive, Commodore 64, Dreamcast, Game Gears. I say Gears, I've got 2 that don't work. I need to get them fixed. There's other stuff as well. I've got a Retron, Quinops system as well for loads of other stuff, arcade games and all that sort of stuff. I can go HD on that, so it might record a bit easier. But yeah, if I can get some of those to work, I want to bring some of the real stuff, and I want to do a separate segment on my channel for that. I mean, it probably could fit in this game, but this series, but it's dossing around. It's PC games. I do want to do one for the old consoles if I can. You know, go back to the Super Nintendo's, PS1s, PS2. That was probably one of my favourites as well. Just the vast array of games that are available and different sorts of games. Even though by that point I started moving towards like Pro Evo and FIFA a lot of the time. There's a lot of games I miss, but Final Fantasy 7 on PS1, it's another one I want to do a series on. Ed has mentioned it as well. He wants to do it. He will probably use the Steam version. I do have the Steam version, but I want to use the PS1 version and go back to the real feel of the game, the old game. As you can see, we drop a mountain range like a volcano. Is it volcano or just a mountain range? Technically a volcano, but they're not spewing. They're not active. They're not erupting. But we drop it in, and you can't build on them or get rid of those. They're there. They just ruin you. The other stuff, you can the swamp, I think you can build down and get out. As you can see, we've got a knight there going off to battle. I don't actually see him again. He walks off somewhere, and I don't even know what happens to him because we're not connected map-wise at the moment. I can see he's flashing blue now, not white. So that would have been a sign. Did he just walk in the sea? Is he gone? Has he lost? But obviously our island, there he is. Our islands aren't connected at the moment, so we can't go anywhere until we expand out that way or they expand in that way. But I don't see him for the rest of this game. I don't know what happens to him. I don't know if they do something that gets rid of him, or I literally have no idea. But we're just building more and more castles, expanding our population, but they are expanding at a faster rate than us. I don't know how, because they're all, I mean, look at them on the map. I mean, they are huge, but our people just aren't building as quick. I mean, I was building lots of land out, and they just weren't moving into it. I'm not too sure. But we've got a lot of mana there to use, and I think I do go on a bit of a rampage with it in a minute. We'll see. But try and get another castle there going, just so we can move out a little bit further. We're trying to move in. I think they do get the jump on me and get to me before I get to them, which doesn't really make a difference because we should be in a position to have the upper hand, but I don't think we did. Obviously, you can see the numbers on the side. They're starting to even up a little bit now. We're getting a bit closer, but the landmass there occupying there is just like the whole southern part of the map. It's just expanded out, but I've damaged a lot of that, so it's all mountainous, hilly, but I can see them there now on the right hand side building up that way. Now I didn't notice that before when I was playing it. I was looking through more the central bit, but I don't think that is where they came in. I think they did come in down that side there, and we're obviously building out towards it, so we kind of were the prophets of our own downfall a little bit, just to bring another religious phrase into this sort of semi-religion. I mean, they have religious signs and stuff, so you can kind of see the religious element part to it, I guess. And there is a bit of a religious ending to this game, and I do have to say, I'm just a little bit of a spoiler, I do kind of mess it up a little bit. I underestimated some of the powers you have in this game, some of the what do you call them, the plagues, I guess, that you can inflict. But look how flat our map is. It's absolutely ridiculous. How we're not expanding bigger and better than them, I don't know. They just seem to be doing it at a much faster, bigger rate than us. And they're not even inflicting anything on us. We've inflicted on them, and they're still expanding. God forbid if they were doing stuff to us. I mean, maybe they are. There are some sounds. I can't hear at the moment because I've muted the game from when I was just coming theme hospital. So someone's come in there and they just win every fight on our people. He's not a particularly good warrior. He's not a knight. Obviously, we had one of them. He's just gone wandering. I don't know where he is. But they just start wandering in and taking over our space. It's not a very fair fight. I don't think I saw one of our people beat one of theirs. And they're not, like I say, they're not warriors. They're not soldiers that are sending in. They're just their normal tribes people, it looks like. So it's a little bit disappointing. There's another fight there. No, he wins again. I don't know if they're just generally stronger. So I think at this point I see the trouble. So I go and unleash some carnage, I think. I'm looking at the time left on the video. I must do it. See, I pressed the knight there to try and release a knight, but it doesn't do it. I don't know why. And he's built a little shrine in our castle. I'm not too sure how he's done that. Another fight they win. I'm not too sure how you... There we go. So we drop a swamp there. Some mountains there. I think the swamp was there from before. But it just doesn't seem to do too much there. It's another mountain. I don't think it kills them. I think it just stops them building and expanding more. Which, going back tactically, I could have put through the middle so they couldn't build across anymore. But you can see they're building across to our island in like multiple streams there. I mean, they're doing that land quicker than I could ever do that land. You know? So we're getting to some nitty-gritty of the episode now. There was sequels to this game as well. I don't know if I played them. I don't recall. Not the one on the SNES, Populous 2. I think I have got, but I don't think I enjoyed that so much. I did go out and get it. Not at the time, but when I went back and sort of was procuring my SNES collection back, I went back and found it. I found it in like a second-hand bin at like is it GameStop? What was the... Not Game. There was the other shop. Chain. I found it in one of those. It wasn't so good. I did enjoy the PC one. There was a PC one that came out. What was it? It must have been late 90s, early 2000s, and it was a much more modern 3D kind of one. Loved that one. Is it A New World, A New Beginning, something like that? Great game. One I do have on the list to try and bring possibly to this series. It possibly does fit still, but not yet. Not for a little while. Not with this one just coming out now, the original. So I just thought my recording and my audio stopped then. If this is a bit bad, it's because I'm recording these on my phone. Not possible to do it on my computer and watch it at the same time because it's going to record. It seems to pick up the audio of the game again as well. But we're just getting slightly overrun here. Their numbers have dropped, but so have ours by the looks of it. I'm not sure what's going on. Are we just taking each other out or something? But they are swarming like a plague of pests over that map at the bottom, all through the middle. And I think it's about this point around here somewhere that I make the silly mistake, the move that I probably shouldn't have done at that point, or not in that location, certainly. So we drop some mountains in, volcanoes in. Just trying to halt them back a bit. I think we try and drop another one in somewhere. Yeah, we do. So it completely obliterates their houses. It starts bringing the numbers down a little bit. But obviously the people are still there. It's just the building isn't. But we are getting slightly overrun in our area. I think I misjudged it because I thought we were, but perhaps we weren't. Perhaps we started holding them back at this point because I'm not seeing many red flags. It's that top bit of the base is all the map is all still blue and whatnot. So maybe I was a little bit preemptive in what I did next, which must be coming up any moment now. So we just try and get a few more castles going there. Yeah. So again, with this series, this game, if you do want to see me play through a few more different levels or have another go at this one, let me know in the comments. While you're there, drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, of course. Drop a sub to my channel. If you want to see me do some more of these MS DOSing around episodes, just let me know in the comments. I'll work away. Obviously, Football Manager is sort of fading out before FM19 now. FM18 is on its way out, so I probably will be slowing down those a little bit, and I do want to put some other stuff in. I've got some football games that are possibly going to fall into this. I've got some themed weeks I want to perhaps do, even if it's not 5 days, it's just maybe 3 or 4 days. I do have some that I want to do sort of themed. So football is one of them. I've got some football games. I've got some other bits. got a few in my mind, a few things ticking around. At which point I think we are now going to do what I've just been talking about. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, if you do want to see some more stuff like that. And let me know what you think about the consoles as well. Have they all just going on a surge? Have they done the Armageddon thing, or are they all just going for a... Yeah, I drop a flood, and you can see it wipes out our whole base. Some of theirs, but primarily us, and game lost. So we won 55 out of 54 battles, so we must have started fighting back. We had 0 knights, as did they, so we must have lost them. Number of towns, they had 20, I had 0 by the end. Castle 0-0, and we had... I don't know how that score compares to what it does, but yeah, if you, like I say, enjoyed this video, drop a like, drop a sub while you're there, and drop any comments on what we've been discussing. And until the next episode of MS Tossing Around, which is tomorrow, and I think it's the last one. I think it is. Yep. Yeah, I'll see you then. Take care.